We get clients who tell us, I want to advance my career,
Yeah.
but I do not want my boss's job.
Yes, there's a lot of that
Yeah.
because they can see the amount of stress that comes with that
Yeah.
role.
And
So
you don't
do
want it.
we
Then-
do
then
we
what?
really want to stick our neck up over the sandbags only to
Yeah.
be shot off? Right?
Correct,
'Cause
right?
that
So I don't want a
happens.
job, but what next? So once again, they find it difficult to scale up the management ladder. One word of advice is this. Good morning, everyone. Welcome once again to another episode of Career Success with Adrian and Yan. Happy Friday. My name is Adrian, and I'm the CEO and founder of Career Agility International. And with me, as always, is Yan, our Executive Director.
Hi everyone, happy Friday.
Happy Friday. And one of the nice things about being a career agility coach is that we are able to help a lot of people with their careers. And once we provide them the career clarity,
Sometimes you don't hear from them for months.
Yeah, and
Months
then-
and months and months.
and then they go like, Adrian, I've landed a job and this is what exactly I wanted.
I love the good news. I mean, yes, we do get people who come to us with triggers.
Oh, yes.
That's the bulk of our WhatsApps most of the time. But quite often, I would get the news and go like, "Hi, Yan, it was great. Your session, whatever. It's been months. I just wanted to let you know I've landed.
Yeah.
I've taken this job, doing this something, whatever, and I'm really happy. Thanks again.
Yeah.
When we get
It
news
makes our
like that
day.
from complete silence. Sometimes we check in on them and they go like, yeah, it's okay.
it's fine.
Yeah,
It's
it's
okay.
fine.
Yeah.
And we're thinking, gosh, are they okay? Are they really okay?
and
we worry, right? Because they're
Yeah.
not really keeping us up to date on everything they're doing.
And you know why? Because out of those folks, two of them came back to me and said, Adrian, I didn't want to tell you because I was afraid I might jinx it. So it's so funny. It's like, okay, fine. As long as you got it under wraps, under control.
Under control, yeah.
So it's fine. So we enjoy helping people with their careers.
we like the good news.
Yeah.
Please, if you have good news, please share.
Yeah. So once again, my name is Adrian. I'm the CEO and founder of Career Agility International, and Yan's our executive director. Together, we are Career Agility International. We are a group of career experts who are out to help you enjoy a more successful and happy career, so that you can have the mind space to enjoy everything else in your life.
Yeah, we don't want the careers to be dragging you down because if things don't work out in the career, you usually leaks into the other aspects of your life.
It does.
Even though people say the job's not everything, but we spend so much of our waking hours at the job.
Yeah.
It's really hard anyway. But yes, we provide you all the tools to get your career going so that you have more time to focus on the things that really matter, like your luxuries and your spas and holidays, and
Yeah.
you can start planning for
Time with the
year-end
family.
holidays.
Yeah.
Christmas is coming.
Yep. One,
Wait, we haven't even had Halloween yet.
I don't celebrate
But
Halloween,
it's coming.
so it's
It's
fine.
coming soon.
I don't celebrate Halloween, so it's fine. But there's a particular group of individuals in the community that we have a very special affinity to.
Yes.
Okay, and these are the senior managers, those who are in their 40s, in their early 50s, and they're trying to figure out what's next. I can resonate with them because we were there.
Yes.
And it was not particularly easy as well for myself because that was the age which we started Career Agility, and I was the one who
it was fine. We did not have that much problem.
Yeah, right.
When you look back, right, it's always with rose tinted glasses.
Correct.
Because we've been through it.
But there were so many questions. What do
Yes.
I do? How do I go? And I think it's not just unique to us. So that's why today we wanted to talk about what are some of the career concerns that someone who's a senior manager or someone who's senior in their 40s, and unfortunately 40s is now considered senior.
I don't know. I mean, it's all about labels.
It's all about labels.
But yeah, I mean, if you are in a certain seniority,
Yes,
we don't want to put a number to
if
it.
you're in that basket, just like us, okay. What are some of the career challenges for those managers who are 40 years and up?
Yes.
And I think one common denominator everyone tells me is competition from younger upstarts.
It's bound to happen. How many Gen Zers do you have now in any typical organization?
In fact,
30%, I think.
the stats show
Yeah.
that by the end of in about 2 or 3 years time, 2028,
Yeah.
there'll be more Gen Zers
Yeah.
than there are Gen
Yeah,
Xers and Gen Yers.
Yeah, and that's normal. So that's going to always be part of the game.
Yeah.
It's part of the game. But because we're talking about this because the market seems particularly harsher for those now in their 40s and above.
Yeah.
It feels like we're asking for more from this group. And if you don't meet that criteria of everything they expect the millennials and the Gen Zers to do while you're you're at your level,
Yeah.
they're just going to happily put you on ice.
Correct.
Eventually show you the door. And
Yeah.
that's happened a lot.
It's happened a lot. It's happened a
Yeah.
lot. We see, and I hate to be the one to say this because I might be cancelled for this. We see people who are being retrenched, typically the older folks. And I say
Yes.
older, it's not as in 50s, or in those who are older than, and oftentimes it's also a function of their price.
It could also be a function of the role being more regional, and it's easier to just remove tasks
Yeah.
from their
They take stuff off
from
their plates, basically,
from
right?
their bandwidth, right? And
Yeah.
say, okay, well, we'll take this and put it over there. We'll take this and put it over there, and then we don't need you anymore.
Ta-da.
So they've been kind of, sandwiched out.
Yeah.
Is that such a thing?
So that's where the challenge is. That's why if you're in your 40s now, these are real challenges. Having an increasingly younger workforce is one. The other area I think that a lot of senior managers face difficulty is having younger bosses as well.
I think that's a huge mindset shift in a lot of the ones who grew up knowing that seniority equals age.
Yeah.
And we've been sold a bit of a pipe dream, isn't it? Given how hierarchical things
Yeah.
have always been.
Yeah.
So you know that you always report to someone older than you. You'll
Yeah.
always have a more senior leader
Yes.
who's going to be able to mentor you. And then we're now in this playground where age sometimes
So I
doesn't
had
matter.
I had this client, 48, and he had to report to a 36-year-old lady, okay, who was parachuted in from other places in the world. Okay?
Right.
And this lady felt that she knew everything,
Right. Even if she didn't.
even she didn't. And
did
how do you
she?
then play that game, you see? So that's why the challenge is there for him, not just in terms of, like what you said, not just in terms of expectations, but in terms of ego. And one of the biggest challenges as well is that he said, I understand why she had to be placed in there. I felt that I was passed over for promotion.
Yeah.
And I think that is something which is a mindset issue, which could be, could not be.
Yeah.
But if you let it affect your career, then I think it's might be a stumbling block.
In fact, recently I've heard a few of our clients have highlighted this as a massive trigger for them in the whole restructuring, or the organization is suddenly shifting, and then they inherit a new leader, and they're going like, why didn't they promote a
Yeah.
local? Why didn't they promote from within?
Yeah.
Why did they have to bring someone else in? And then they get very disillusioned, and
Yeah.
because of that, there's a spiral, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because they get disillusioned, there's certain behaviors come up, and then the resentment is obvious, and under the skin leakage, and then the boss is going to go, yeah, this person's not a team player.
Yeah.
And then it's a
Then it goes out of
vicious
control.
cycle.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
So that's why we need to have strategies around an increased competition, not just from the younger ones, but also from folks all over the place. I mean, not just talking about foreigners coming in to steal local jobs, which a lot of people are talking about, but there are foreigners who are not even in Singapore, who are out maybe perhaps stealing your job via remote work,
Yeah.
or lots of other stuff, or even AI coming in to steal your job.
Yeah.
So these are things which I think if you're in your 40s, you need to consider as part of your overall career strategy. Is what I'm doing so garden variety, so generic that a 30-year-old can come in over and take over it and do it?
Yeah.
Is something wrong with what I'm doing?
Yeah. So with that, knowing that there's competition, what can we do about it?
I think it's all about skills. It's all about knowing where your edge is and knowing what are the things that you can do so well that other people cannot do. Other people, like the younger person, other people like perhaps someone from not in your part of town, or even AI. So for instance, holding the relationships together, or being able to tie up things so nicely and neatly, and having such a good reputation and track record that people will feel that you're a much safer pair of hands to leave the business with rather than someone else. So this requires a lot of strategic thinking. This requires a lot of planning rather than just turning up for work every morning and seeing what's on my table and doing it. It's going to play a long game.
And there's an expectation that when you're above 40 that you should have more initiative doing those things
That's
than
true.
just to take orders from above.
That's true.
I don't know. I'm just trying to put myself, and I'm compartmentalizing right now, putting myself as a listener, going like, gosh, that sounds tiring. It does sound
It
tiring.
does sound tiring.
But I want to reassure you, if you're listening to this, that it's not all that bad, because it just requires a little bit of thinking, and we're here to support you in how to look at all those variables so that you don't journey this alone. It is in fact very scary when you hear all the doom and gloom and you're reading the news or you're listening to some podcaster or you're like us or you're on YouTube and people are all saying that, oh, we need you to be more this and more that. And sometimes how we follow a lot of these YouTube, I don't know, I'm a big follower like Simon Sinek and Gary Vaynerchuk and some of these people, and they keep saying you have to do more, you have to be here, you have to be this, you have to do that. So again, reach out to us and we'll provide you that framework to help you get started so that you don't have to journey this and feel so tired by yourself.
Let us do the thinking for you.
Well,
Part of it.
We can't. We help.
We have
you.
the frameworks, so comes up to us. I think another area for people in their 40s is that I call them the sandwich generation, like what you said. Not only do you have to take care of your family, you probably have got kids. Your parents may not be in the best of health either. So this generation has to struggle quite a fair bit with the work-life balance.
The work-life balance issue has always been there, but it's particularly more challenging for people who have more things. What you've just described is one linear equation, because not everyone's got kids, but we've got fur kids and we've got interests and we've got friends who have reunions regularly and we want to compare with them, and we have expectations from the world that you need to be making this amount by a certain age, and then we're wondering about whether or not we should be driving this level of car or going on some sort of holiday, because everyone's social media seems to be showing
going on ski vacation, so I need my ski vacation too.
Work-life balance is really about life, and life is challenging. Don't forget that was just the fun stuff. I'm thinking about your dental appointments, I'm thinking about your health checks. There are so many other expectations at that age.
Adulting ain't easy.
Adulting is awful.
Yeah, but adulting is also fun. If you can balance it out, it's fun.
Right.
And I think if you have your priorities right, I think it's okay. It's only when you lose sight of your priorities, then once again, it's easier said than done.
It is so much easier said than done.
Especially when you have, for instance, like a boss who is just demanding,
and your weekend is just taken up with work, or worse, you work very, very hard and then you sleep the weekend away.
Yeah.
So you've done nothing.
You just described me. So
to fulfill your soul.
Yes.
Just saying, because again, it's not just about the weekend, is that we don't live for the weekends. We have to have pockets of time that we would go for an exercise. We have to, not that we like
so
our
this
exercise, but
generation, those in their 40s and early 50s, even late 50s. The work-life balance is normally tougher because you're in a situation where, like what Yan said, there are more things happening. You have more balls in the air as you're juggling. Therefore, if you're not careful, it will take a toll on your mental health.
Yes.
And by extension, your career progression as well. So there are strategies which you might have to figure out. A, how to handle your boss properly. B, how to manage the workload better. Or C, is it time for you to take a step back and just...
I'm not suggesting that you have to, because we have frameworks and I help our clients all the time handle all the undercurrents and the toxicity and the overthinking that happens. We do a lot of that at a certain age. And just so planning the life aspects, because life can be fun but can also be very dreadful.
And there are times
drudgery, right?
And there are times when life overtakes work.
We have to pay taxes. We have to look at our bills.
Oh yeah.
We have to remember to pay.
When because of crisis, life overtakes your work. Some fun, your family falls ill, whatever happens, it happens. Life happens. And then you just need to balance it out. And
it's not just. It's tough.
It's tough. So we feel you. Focus on what's important in terms of your priority. And then the third thing we see people in or the main things that derail someone in the 40s is sometimes encountering a midlife crisis.
What
Or
is a midlife crisis?
midlife crisis, or more importantly, more specifically, mid-career crisis.
Yeah, what is a mid-career crisis,
I
and
I
why
find-
does it happen?
You know, that's my pet topic for the
It
past
is.
20
So
years.
I'm just going to keep quiet and lean back while we all listen to you.
Yeah, you can chill out a little. So a mid-career crisis happens when you are typically in your late 30s or early 40s or mid-40s, when you're thinking, what's next? I do not know what I want to do. Is this the right job for me? I'm bored with my job. Is there something else better out there? And unfortunately, it's a time where many people make mistakes and they start saying, okay, maybe I should just quit and take a 1 year sabbatical and figure this out. It's painful. It's may not be the right move, or it may be the right move. We have different stories of people who have done that before.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So ultimately, we see a lot of people, almost everyone has a mid-career crisis at some point in their life, at some point in their career.
And sometimes these crises are protracted. No? So
Yeah.
it's not a one event and then you go through a spiral and you start going off on a bender to buy expensive toys and find a hobby, and then suddenly you're invested like $20,000 in camera equipment, which has happened.
Yes, happened.
And or you decide to go on a pilgrimage, take time off and hide from the world, which by the way has happened. So we're here for you.
Yeah.
We're here for you.
So it's time for you, if you're in your 40s, okay, to start reviewing your career strategy, because what your career strategy could have been perfect for you for the past 10, 15 years, but you're at a different stage in your life. The environment has changed. Pause and review your career strategy for the next 15 years and refocus your life, reorientate and repivot if you need to ensure that your career strategy is the right one for the next 10, 15 years.
Sometimes it's not as complicated as it sounds, right? It just requires a bit of recalibration
bit of a nudge.
and a change in, I think, your filter to the world.
Yeah.
Because maybe you inherited a boss that's just a bit younger than you, and you're thinking, why did I get passed over for a promotion? Or why is this person who's seemingly less competent than me suddenly in charge of the team? And so suddenly there's a bit of that dissonance. And we help a lot of individuals who go through such dissonance to figure out a strategy to move forward. It's not always quit my job and find something better, because that better could be worse.
Yes.
And we've seen that happen as well.
Ironically, yeah.
And just because it's more money doesn't mean it's a bigger role. It doesn't also mean that it's a better job, because more money equals more crap that you have to clean.
Yeah.
So there are so many variables, and most often with, I think, a lot of the clients I've seen recently who needed a bit of that perspective have remained and stayed and grew within the organization, because I think they just needed a little bit of a juice amplifier.
And I think what you mentioned is
recalibration.
correct. Okay, sometimes you just need a different perspective on things. An expert who has been in your place, who has probably experience in your industry as well, okay, to come in and say that, look, maybe this is another way of looking at it. And sometimes that's all you need. Just that shift in perspective can change a lot of things in your life. So come talk to us.
In many ways, I mean, you can talk to us. So you can also go seek out your mentors. And if you have no mentors, then come to talk to us.
Magic 8 Ball.
We have,
Should I change my job?
I mean,
Yes.
we have
Science point to
programs. We have
yes.
programs for all levels. And we also have that one-off career clinic that you can just reach out to us, and we can have a deep dive session without taking up too much of your purse. Yeah. So don't worry about the cost. Come talk to us.
Yes.
Adrian is having a cough.
I'm nursing a cough, so I'm sorry.
and,
I apologize. In fact, I need to do my uncle thing and I top up my warm water because Uncle Adrian is feeling a bit under the weather. But anyway, I think the other area that the other challenge a lot of folks in their 40s
Yes.
feel is that how do I scale up the ladder?
and that's the trouble, because they're thinking ladder, but it's not always a ladder. So come talk to us again about options and clever ideas to grow. Because the truth is that the ladder gets narrower up the top because
Yeah.
there are fewer spots,
Yeah.
there are fewer C-suite roles.
And one funny thing we always hear is this: we get clients that tell us, I want to advance my career,
yeah.
but I do not want my boss's job.
Yes, there's a lot of that
Yeah.
because they can see the amount of stress that comes with that
Yeah.
role.
And
So
you don't
do
want
we
it.
do
Then
we
what?
really want to stick our neck up over the sandbags only
Yeah.
to be shot off? Right?
Correct,
'Cause
right?
that
So I don't want a
happens.
job, but what next? So once again, they find it difficult to scale up the management ladder. One word of advice is this: don't just think about technical skills.
Yeah,
The management level above you is there not just because of the technical skills. A lot of times they're there because of managerial management skills. And this could be, influencing without authority. This could be being able to execute bigger projects and manage stakeholders better than where you are right now.
so fluffy. Everything you've
It's
just
fl- it's-
described
yeah.
is very fluffy.
It is.
Everyone thinks they're good at it
Yeah.
until rubber hits the road.
Yeah.
And until the situation happens.
Yeah.
Because beyond a certain level of seniority, the skill sets required
Mm.
is a little bit more diplomacy and it's a very different ball game. Even though you think I'm really good at
Yeah,
diplomacy,
correct.
I'm really good at influencing, I'm really good at brainstorming.
yeah.
It's not
and
it's
whether or not
not
you're
so straightforward.
whether or not you're world class at that level, it's the same thing we see at America's Got Talent. Everyone thinks they can sing until they open their mouth, and then
Well, everyone sounds great when they're in the shower.
that's not what my wife says to me. But anyway, shut up already. Okay, so but that's true. So you need to understand and define what are the management skills that you need to get up and progress your career within the organization.
And then you need to figure out the activities you need to do that demonstrate those
Yes.
skills and those abilities, because it's not just because I want that and I've identified it and tomorrow it'll be gifted to me, right?
Yeah,
No.
it's not entitlement.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things I find that for those in their 40s, and me having come up from there like not too long ago, is I find there's a lot of mental stress and financial stresses
Yeah.
when it comes to that level, because that's at a point in time where your kids are growing up,
Yeah.
your parents are getting old.
Let's hope you've
your
invested
mortgage,
wisely.
I've invested in
I'm not talking to you,
I've invested
yeah.
in a magic mushroom farm, which I'm growing from my backyard. Okay, anyway, but it's not just in terms of investments. It's
Yeah.
in terms of I'm afraid to lose my job because there's so much to
and
pay.
possibly when we hit that age group, we have all sorts of aches and pains that come with the territory, and we're feeling a little bit under the weather half
Yeah.
the time. Like, this cough is taken forever to
Yes,
go away.
unfortunately,
So we don't know if the viruses are getting stronger or Adrian is just getting older.
both. But
So you're
It's
right. That
tough.
there are more pressures, and not to say that a younger person doesn't face that level of pressure. It's not
It's
a fair
different.
statement. It's a different level
it's
of
a
pressure.
different level.
Because there are obligations and there are people who count on you. So your financial, your mental load, your emotional load.
Yes.
Don't forget, the people around you are facing all sorts of their own trials
Yeah,
and tribulations, and you have to be strong for them. And I'm referring again to your aging parents and
Yeah.
your teenage children. So it's a lot. Come talk to us.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm not a trained therapist, but I'm certainly capable of providing a lot more perspective
You're
to
a
a lot
mom.
of our
You're a
clients.
mom, so yes, you're combat trained. to
Among
provide-
other things.
among other things, to provide therapy.
So we
it's-
provide perspective to our clients.
And then I want to share something interesting as well. Male and females, we all have different types of stresses.
Yes.
The guy has, and I'm coming from a guy's perspective. Okay, we have expectations set upon us.
Yeah.
The man has to be the provider.
Yes.
The man has to bring home the bacon.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where a lot of people get very stressed out, because if I lose my job, and oftentimes, not always, oftentimes the guy is seen as the strong one in the house.
Yeah.
So he cannot have that stresses at work. He can't bring it back.
We've seen
Otherwise,
it.
we've seen it. So it
We've
gets
seen it.
stresses. So the guys, you guys out there, I feel you. I've been in those shoes before. It's tough, and it's difficult. Now, for the ladies, it's a different set of problems as well. I mean, they got to balance their mom role sometimes if they are mom. Sometimes, it's there are challenges at work. discrimination. That's what you said, gender discrimination.
Always. There are so many things. I'm not going to list them out the way Adrian has done it for the guys, because I think we women have
Enough
so
problems as
much
it is.
more. Not to say
Oh, you got my germs, you're coughing.
you stay away from me. It really is about mental load, I think.
I think so too.
For everyone, I mean, regardless of gender. But I have seen situations where a male senior level individuals lost his job and was unable to express it to the family.
Yes.
And therefore then pretended to go to work every day and was in so much stress trying to land the next role that he invariably does not perform during interviews.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of silly because if you think about it, the mental load is the cause of his distress. And the way around it is to in fact drop it so that he can perform during the interview.
Yeah, it's
Only for it to become
catch-22, right?
It's awful. Not to say that ladies don't have this sort of stress. We also have all sorts of expectations. You know, our house needs to be spotless. It's not fair to have such gender roles placed upon us. It's not fair. But then if the house is messy, who gets blamed? The woman. It is what it is. And I want to just say we're here for you if you ever face all sorts of things coming at you from all directions, not just your career. In the meantime, you have younger colleagues chasing after your role, people who are backstabbing you in the company or saying
all the
not so
time.
nice things, and then leaders who have you're not good enough, and maybe your boss woke up on the wrong side of the bed and decided to scold you in front of everyone. We need to have tools. We need to have strategies. We need to be prepared because when things happen and we have the answers, right, we're so strong. And I provide you those answers. In fact, our clients come back to us. I say, I tell them to prepare their toolkits. And that's one of the strategies. Again, there's a lot. So reach out to us so that if you do have a set of issues, the career side, including, again, we're not trained therapists. We're not here to dig into your psychosis or the reason for your trauma, no. But we give you useful frameworks, strategies, and a toolkit that you can go to make your life just a little bit better.
Yeah. So in other words, we're here for you. We understand as a mid-career 40-year-old, there are challenges, whether you're a guy or a lady, whether or not you're in a senior level position or whether you're not. It's different for different people, but same sources of stress for everyone else, because as long as we're working in this world, there are going to be rough and tumble moments. So come talk to us. In the meantime, stay calm, manage things as you go, and we'll be fine. In the meantime, keep calm and career on. See ya.